Okay, so I'm making a little necklace for Katydid's auction. I cut out this little heart using my little diamond scroll saw, and then I also have this little slablet, very little thin guy. And I'm going to be layering them like this. So my first step is going to be drawing out a little square around it in the shape that I want it to end up in. I went ahead and drew the boundary lines I want on it for the sides, and I'll grind that down and I will figure out where the top and bottom are exactly once I get the heart attached. I'm gonna clean both of the surfaces that are gonna go together. I'm just using a little bit of acetone. I'm gonna put a little bit of UV resin down. Grabbing a toothpick. I'm gonna put this that right where I want it. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of light just to lock it in. And then I'm going to use my lamp that will run for a couple minutes. Move this over and we'll let this cure. Be back when that's done. As you can see, it's tacked on there. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean the excess of that resin off. Okay, I've gotten the excess off, and yeah, now I need to build a little dam around this. Okay, hot glue's ready, and I'm just going to build a little dam around it. Okay, this is all cured, and I've got UV resin I'm gonna slowly pour in. I'm gonna cover this just to keep dust and stuff off of it. I was like a little bit worried that that wasn't tall enough. I'm gonna let this sit 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna look for any bubbles. If there are bubbles, I'll drag them with the toothpick off to the side, and then we can cure it. But I will. I've checked it. There's no bubbles, and I'm gonna go ahead and cure it. Gotta move some stuff out of the way here. Someone needs to put her Montana agate slices away. Okay, I'm gonna cure it. And we'll be back when that's done. I'm gonna cure it for 2 minutes on one side, and then I'm gonna flip it and do the other side. Okay, I've got it cured on one side. I'm gonna pop it out of here. Disregard my gross fingernails. Working with rocks makes them perpetually disgusting. Nothing I can do about it. But I'm gonna get this out of here, and then I'm gonna cure it from the back, because as you can see, some of it did not cure back there. It's just what happens sometimes. It's fine. I'll just cure it, and since that part's gonna get completely flattened out, it doesn't matter that it's kind of rough. But yeah, there we go. That will cook for 2 minutes, and then I can go ahead and shape it, which will be the next step. Okay, it's cured. And what I'm gonna do now is trim it. I'm gonna just get a lot of the excess off. I'm using Inland Craft Diamond bandsaw for that. And so I'll get that fired up and we'll cut it out. There's not too much on the tops, and I can just grind that off pretty easy. But yeah, okay, let's get back over there. I gotta turn the watering system off, but done over here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind this stuff off. I'm still using the 600. I might switch up to lower grit, more coarse grit. I'm not sure. We'll see how quickly it goes. Resin tends to grind pretty quick, so you don't need something super aggressive, at least in my experience. So we'll go ahead and do this. I've gotten this to where it's the thickness that I want. I've got it all cleaned up and it's the perfect shape that I was looking for. I found 4 pieces that I really liked that I was kind of trying to pick between, and I settled on this one. And this will go, actually, let me get this wet. It's gonna go like that, or let's see if you can see it from the other side. Get that wet too. So this is gonna be what we're going for. So what I need to do right now is cut, and now my little thing's coming off, that's great. I'll have to put that back on there. Whatever, I think actually, yeah, these are marked with pencil, so I can go ahead and cut those. And I'll do that now. I'll attach it, and then we'll get working. So, as it is known to happen, sometimes lapidary doesn't go to plan. You're about to see this cab with extra bits attached that you didn't see happening. This is because I had to make not 1, not 2, but 8 different versions of this, and things just kept going wrong. This was over weeks, and to say I was stressed is an understatement. Where the video will pick up here is me figuring out a final solution, which will eventually involve me grinding off tedious work, countless hours, to get this back to a place where I can move forward. I don't usually have this much trouble, but a little bit of trouble is just part of the process. Let's keep going. Okay, I've got my little piece I've made. Got some layers. This is lapidary. You just sometimes have to roll with it. I ruined this so many times I can't even describe it, but we're moving forward. I'm going to make 4 little pieces of obsidian. This is from Glass Butte. Gonna cut it into 4 strips and attach all of them so that I can have a nice little black border. So let's go over to the bandsaw and do that. Okay, I got all the 4 little pieces cut. As you can see, it's pretty easy to use that machine. I kind of love it. these pieces will go around the edges. So what I need to do now is figure out which side I'm gonna butt up against it, and I need to completely flatten that. So I'll figure out which sides I'm gonna do, and I think I'm just gonna do the shorter sides, and I'm going to then mark the edges with a pencil. I get these big fat ones. Let me see here. I get these big guys to do it. Just makes it a little bit easier. And I'll mark those, and that way I'll be able to tell if I've gotten them completely flat. So I'll do that right now. Okay. I'll do this first with 180, and then I'll take them to probably 3 something. I'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, you just want to get them super flat, and yeah, and you want to get them super nice and clean so that there's no chippy chips. So we'll do this part now. Okay, I've got my little middle piece, and I've got my 4 edges. I'll get these dried out, and I'll get them glued up. I'm gonna do the top and bottom first. I've got my 2 shorter pieces. I'm just gonna be using Bob Smith Industries. This was recommended by Theo, Theo Kellison. It's great. It's great stuff. I glue myself to things a lot, but you know, it's great stuff. So what I'm gonna do is put a dab of it there. And then I'm gonna push this on there. Then I'm gonna hit it with the accelerator. And that's done. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Oop. Yeah, glue things to things that you don't mean to glue things to. That's got a little bit. I gotta dip that in alcohol. It's a good way to get things really clean. Okay. Okay, so that's done. What I need to do now is just, I'm gonna cut a little bit of it off, but then I will grind it on the 600 disc to get it completely flat. I've got my acetone. I just put a little bit on a Q-tip. Get my sides clean. And then you take the side you're going to attach it to. That's the side. Clean that off. Clean that off. Okay, now we can glue this up. I just have to take this piece and, you know, trim. I'm gonna trim and then I'm gonna grind. I'll be back after I trim and you can watch me clean this up. I'm gonna take this back to the flat lap on the 180 and I'm gonna get all of the excess trimmed off, ground off, I guess I should say. And I'll be back when that's done. Here we are. I've trimmed this down. I'm still gonna take this to the 600 and I'm gonna get everything nice and smooth, make sure that there's absolutely no chips. And I'm going to do the same thing for these little pieces of quartz that I already just had. These were something I started to use for another project and then changed my mind, but they will work perfect for this little guy. So yeah. the middle part done. It's got its 3 borders, and I've cut and shaped out a little back for it and a topper. So I'm just gonna connect these all together. It'd be a nice little sandwich. And then shape it the rest of the way. So that's what's up next. I've got it ready now. Big fat sandwich. I'm gonna grind both sides of those down to thin it out quite a bit. And then I'll do final shaping and that kind of thing. But first I'll thin the sandwich stack down. Yep. Okay, here it is all done. I drilled into the sides and I shaped a piece of sterling silver wire, hammered it and polished it, oxidized it first, obviously. But yeah, it's all done. Thanks to Kate for letting me be part of this. It was a lot of fun.